What up guys, JP back at you once again, bringing you guys day number 11 in my 4th annual 31 Days of Horror. This is a series in which we watch and review 31 horror films, and I use that term loosely, in 31 days, all during the month of October, leading right up to Halloween. And of course this year we are focusing on the entire Universal Monsters box set, and the one that we're reviewing today is more along the lines of a comedy. It's not really my fault, it's in the box set, that's what I said I was gonna do, but this is more of your straight up comedy. We have 1940s The Invisible Woman. The Invisible Woman starts off with a pretty wealthy guy who mentions that he inherited a scientist from his father. So the scientist kind of lives on his premises and kind of does experiments that don't really work. So this wealthy man is kind of just forking out money to the scientist over a long period of time to kind of hope that he does something. The wealthy playboy type is informed that he's kind of wasting a lot of money on this scientist, so he decides that he has to let him go, but not before the scientist can work on one more experiment. The scientist has invented an invisibility machine, but he does not want to test it on himself, so he puts an ad in the paper. Meanwhile, we have a model who is kind of fed up with her job. She's tired of her boss, and she wants to take revenge, so she answers the ad that says, "Become invisible." She goes to the scientist's house where she becomes invisible. She's not the only person that's interested in becoming invisible. We have a gang of crooks who also want to use the machine. We then find out that after the invisibility wears off of her, just with a little bit of alcohol, it reignites the invisibility, and that is the storyline. So right away, I gotta say, this one is not connected, at least not that I noticed, to the original two Invisible Man films. This one is much more hokey, it's more of a comedy, probably because they're dealing with an invisible woman. They didn't really take it serious. It gives off that impression very much because the jokes are a lot to do with the fact that she is naked and a woman and invisible, and it really isn't funny because the jokes, it's funny because as a person in 2015 watching this, it's kind of like, wow, this is very dated. And just the way that every little thing is of the time, where the woman is naked and everybody's like extremely bashful, and it's such a bigger deal than it would be now. I could just see any chick being like, yeah, I'll get naked to go invisible. Much more modest. It's just funny. You're laughing at that by just the fact that you know how far we've come since then, and it makes it even more silly. And it's not really what's supposed to be funny. The situational humor is supposed to be funny, but it's not. It's like the hindsight humor that is really funny. It's kind of a weird one. I didn't love it. It wasn't really that bad. It's not a horror film, it's a complete comedy, and it was just alright. I mean, it was a little above average. There was some funny stuff, but like I said, it was unintentionally funny. The scientist was like kind of kooky as well. I didn't really care for the overall story. It was kind of lame. I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Not the worst in the world, but it's definitely not really my type of movie. See you guys tomorrow with another review. Peace out.